Okay, so we got some rather unfortunate news in terms of the 2021 MLB Hall of Fame. There will be no MLB Hall of Famers this year. No new ones anyway. The ones that were elected in 2020, let me just give you the names of those real quick. They will be enshrined in the Hall of Fame this year, as they didn't have their own ceremony last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So given that there's no new Hall of Famers this year, they will get their time to shine. And those Hall of Famers were Derek Jeter, Larry Walker, Ted Simmons, and the late Marvin Miller. God bless his soul. I'm not sure why they didn't induct a new Hall of Famer. I'm probably assuming either because they wanted to give the guys who didn't get their own ceremony last year their shot, or something to do with a lot of these players did do like PEDs or whatever in their career. I don't know. There could be a lot of possibilities. This is just the ninth time the BBWAA did not elect any players in those other 8 years, or 2013, 1945, 1950, 1958, 1960, 1965, 1971, and 1996. And this was reported by MLB Network. Actually, my bad. So you know what, Mario? Let me start off with this, all right? Because I'm a little bit mad at this. All right. Let me explain something to you, all right? I understand, all right? But you know what? I get there were some players on there that cheated at one point or another in their career. But let's be honest. Even though there are some players that are in the Hall of Fame, or some people that play right now, they're probably cheating and you don't even know. So let me tell you something. Let me just make it straight to you, all right? The MLB Hall of Fame voters, whoever vote for the Hall of Famers, are the most biased people ever. I'm being serious. All right, I know that may be a hot mic topic or whatever to you people, but they're biased as all can be. Let me name the people that are on this ballot. All right, there's 25 of them. So hang on. This is the 2021 Hall of Fame ballot. Bobby Abreu, Barry Bonds. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a decade ago. Mark Buehler, AJ Burnett, Roger Clemens, Michael Cudier, Dan Herron. Excuse me, Ron Hawkins, Todd Hilton, Tim Hudson, Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones, Jeff Kent, and Andy Pettit, Amaris Ramirez, Manny Ramirez, Scott Rowland, Kurt Schilling, Gary Sheffield, Sammy Sosa, Nick Swisher, Shane Victorino, Omar Vizquel, Billy Wagner, and Barry Zito. You're gonna sit up here and tell me some of these guys aren't Hall of Famers. Kurt Schilling should have been in there decades ago. Or not decades ago, excuse me, a decade ago. And guess what? I read something yesterday, right? He doesn't even want anything to do with the Hall of Fame no more. Next year is his last year to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is what he said on Facebook. Quote, I will not participate in the final year of voting. I am requesting to be removed from the ballot. I'll defer to the Veterans Committee and men whose opinions actually matter. These people are so biased that they're turning away people who should have been in the Hall of Fame years ago. And they don't want nothing to do with it no more. Barry Bonds, next year's his last year, so help me God if he doesn't go into the Hall of Fame next year. But anyway, Roger Clemens, same deal. Next year is his last year. Kurt Schilling, same thing. Next year's his last year. He wants something to do with that. Look, all I'm saying is this, all right? If you don't want to vote for someone because they cheated at some point or another, fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's not my choice for you to make. But my problem is that all those other guys that I mentioned, and let me mention you a couple. Andy Pettit, did he ever caught cheating at one point? I don't think so. What about Torrey Hunter? Was he ever caught once? No. So there's a lot of other guys on there, but you get my point. Let me sports skip for you a little bit, all right? Lawrence Taylor, Hall of Famer, right? Just drew a minute to doing crack, right? But he did other things that he wasn't supposed to do. Like I was watching a video about it yesterday. He was actually paying guys, excuse me, Susan, for this, but he was paying the opposing running backs prostitutes. I'm pretty sure that's a crime, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Now let me go back to baseball. Gaylord Perry, and yes, that's his name. He's a Hall of Fame pitcher. He admitted and was even caught for putting Vaseline on the baseball, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So what's with the biasness? I don't get it. Just put the damn guys in the Hall of Fame. It's that simple. They admitted to it. And Barry Bonds, that one gets me even more mad because this dude was never caught for anything. So enough with the damn theories. He's the home run king. He should be in the Hall of Fame. It's that simple. I don't know why they couldn't come up with anybody that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I just don't. I don't know. Is it me or I don't know. I don't know about you, Mario, but these guys are just, they drive me crazy. I'll give it to you now. I said enough.
All right. I mean, first of all, Nate, you like left me the mic, and it's a little hot right now. I think I need to cool it down a bit. But no, let me explain. I absolutely agree with you. Like guys like Barry Bonds, I think it's time for him to get into the Hall of Fame. Like him leading the league in leading the MLB in home runs all time, is like a quarterback leading the NFL all time in touchdowns. And you need to put him in the Hall of Fame. Like I'm sorry, Barry Bonds has to be that guy. As for Kurt Schilling, I've heard of stuff. I'm not sure if this is actually the reason, but I've heard of stuff like the MLB isn't letting him in because of like political views or whatever. I think he's pro like Trump or something like that. I can't remember. Don't actually like quote me on that. If somebody in the comments would like to look that up and put it in below, that'll be fine. But again, Kurt Schilling's baseball career, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. So there are a lot of Hall of Famers. I don't think Omar Vizquel will get in. I think it's going to take him a little longer considering
Yeah,
what he did.
last month he was caught for like
Right,
domestic
yeah. So
violence.
that might have a big factor in him not making it. But like honestly, dude, I'm pretty torn with this Hall of Fame thing about them bringing in the 2020 like now to this year and not having 2021 in. Mostly because not that the 2020 doesn't deserve the ceremony. Of course, we all want to hear what Derek Jeter has to say, but I say you double this class. You know what I'm saying?
I
You're
was
putting
thinking
because how many get in a year? What, 4?
4 to 6, I think.
Okay, so you double the class up, and when you double the class up, that will be your official 2020. Put them all in that same ceremony. Double the class up. Obviously you got to get them tested, make sure they don't have any like type of COVID or whatever. But you double it up. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, whether the ceremony is them getting the plaque shipped to them and they do it at home, that's fine too. But I think you should double up this year. Now, them not having no Hall of Famers this year, that's just sad because there are a lot of guys on this list who deserve to be Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? And like the Manny Ramirez's, the Shane Victorinos, they can wait. You know what I'm saying? They got time. But for guys whose time is running out, like Barry Bonds and Kurt Schilling, you got to get on that. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to, especially Barry Bonds, you have to put him in. Sammy Sosa, like I'm not sure how much time he has left, but you got to put Sammy Sosa in at one point.
Pretty sure he's got a couple years left.
Yeah, but like Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, Kurt Schilling, these are guys that need to come in. You know what I'm saying? These are guys who had such an impact on baseball. We're not talking about what their political views are outside of baseball or if they're whether or not they took steroids or not. We're not talking about that. But what we are saying is it's time for these guys to get into the Hall of Fame. Honestly, like let me be honest, whether Barry Bonds did steroids or not, I'm not saying doing steroids is okay. I'm not spreading that message at all. Whether he did steroids or not, again, he was never proved. It was never fully proven. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, and there are guys who are kicked out of the Hall of Fame for other stuff, like Pete Rose and his gambling that kicked him out the Hall of Fame. So like I understand like the precautions, but again, if you're not gonna fully prove that this man did it, there's no reason why he should not be in the Hall of Fame. It's as simple as that. Like, I mean, and now there are similar examples, Nate, in other sports where the guy wasn't fully proven of doing it and they're still not in the Hall of Fame. Take OJ, for example. Where's OJ Simpson? Because I don't know, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think OJ Simpson's in the NFL Hall of Fame. I don't
No,
think
he's
he is.
not.
So like correct me if I'm wrong. So those cases have happened, but I'm sorry, dude. When you have a guy who is the all-time leader in home runs, he needs to be on that Hall of Fame. That Hall of Fame is not completed without Barry Bonds. I'm being honest. That Hall of Fame is not completed without Sammy Sosa, who had one of the best seasons in MLB history. That Hall of Fame is not completed without guys like Kurt Schilling, who have given their whole career to the game. Now, whatever they believe outside of it, whatever. That in Kurt Schilling's case, whatever. But MLB career-wise, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Whether Barry Bonds did steroids or not, you never fully proved it. So therefore, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Sammy Sosa, that's something you need to talk about because I believe Sammy Sosa did test positive. That's a different topic. That's something you need to discuss. But honestly, they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right, and again, like you said, I feel bad for all these guys that are being, and I'm not saying, am I saying, first of all, before I continue with my point, I don't want you guys to think that I'm justifying cheating. I'm not, by all means. I do not encourage anybody to cheat whatsoever. But the reason why I'm so upset is because yeah, these guys cheated, and it's not. And is it good? Absolutely not. I don't approve of cheating, but they admitted to it. Either that or it was never proven. Enough with the damn theories and oh yeah, my thought on like if you don't want to vote for the guy, fine. But Barry Bonds, excuse me, as far as I'm concerned, has been on this power for almost a decade. Same thing with guys like Kurt Schilling and Sammy Sosa. These are guys. Barry Bonds was never proven, like you said. Roger Clemens said he didn't. Roger Clemens said he didn't do PEDs. I don't remember for sure if that was proven or not. I know he did say in front of a U.S. Supreme Court that he didn't do PEDs. I'm not sure. Mark Buehler admitted to putting a foreign substance on the ball, so that's a bit of a controversial thing. But he admitted that after his career, so he was never caught. Nonetheless, it's still cheating. But like, come on, man. Like I can guarantee you, a lot of players in all sports cheat in some way or another. They just don't get caught. So like again, I'm not justifying cheating or anything. I'm not saying that it's right because by all means, it's absolutely wrong. You're not supposed to do that. That's just messed up. But like these guys admitted to it. Just move on. Like, and same thing with the political views. I want to correct you. That was true actually. Kurt Schilling is a pro-Trump guy. He does support Donald Trump, but I don't even think that should matter either. Why should that? Why should someone's opinion on a political figure matter about your status in the Hall of Fame? Why? Does that have anything to do with what they did in the game of baseball, in the game of football, basketball, hockey? No, got no effect on it. So why does that matter?
Alex Ovechkin, one of the best hockey players right now for Washington, is a big fan of Vladimir Putin.
Exactly.
Like, let's be real here. Like, I'm not. Don't get me saying. We're not talking about. We will never give our political views, but we will on certain cases that regard sport. We'll never give like I'm a Biden guy, I'm a Trump guy, a Hillary guy, Obama guy, whatever it is. We will never give that. What we will say is this: I don't think somebody's opinion should have anything to do with them not being in the Hall of Fame because of what they did playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I mean, like, if the time comes down the line, if the time comes on its way and people really do think it, let's be honest here. Colin Kaepernick, and give it some time. He might be a guy who might get inducted. I'm not saying he's an inducted Hall of Famer. I'm not saying that. But again, he had a political view. We shouldn't, even though the political views, some agree and some don't, that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve it, Colin Kaepernick. Same thing with Kurt Schilling. Doesn't mean he has a political view. Does not mean he doesn't deserve to be on the Hall of Fame ballot. Now, enough with all that, okay? Because we got to end this topic pretty quick. I think they should, going back to the beginning, I think they should have doubled this. The ceremony should have been doubled. So the 2021 class and the 2020 class could all be in one place. And now, because it's not doubled, now everything's going to be pushed back a year. So I believe it should. I think the MLB should have doubled it. But I mean, look, they got to do something about some of these guys that are not in the Hall of Fame. Simple as that.
I completely agree. I'm a little upset about this. But hey, I'm glad for the class of 2020 for them to finally have their moment. And by the way, in case you guys didn't know, the induction day is scheduled for July 25th of this year in Cooperstown, New York, where it always is held. So we'll cover that if Mario wants to. So with that said, congratulations to the 2020 class for finally getting their moment. As for the MLB Hall of Fame voters, you guys gotta fix this situation.